GameStop apparently has had just enough of all the bullshit from the likes of Best Buy and Amazon taking chunks and pieces out of their video game profit pie, because those profits continue to dwindle bit by bit, piece by piece, and they know that they have to go and combat this shit. So they're rolling out additional incentives in an entirely new program to try to go and deal with this and to try to actually contend with the likes of Best Buy and Amazon. And I feel like they fucking failed because they missed the entire point as to why people gave a shit to begin with. But let me explain all this shit, because this is going to be a lot of video game buyer's guide, tips and tricks and shit. Nothing to do with the fucking magazine and all that stuff. But I'm going to go and help you out, as well as drop a couple fucking truth bombs here and there, because while I like the idea that they're taking the initiative and they actually got the gumption to bother doing something like this, because it's sink or swim sort of situation, it's still just kind of a mess. So they have what's called the Elite Pro membership. So they already have power-up rewards and all this shit, and this is basically power-up rewards plus. And power-up rewards is supposed to be, what, like 20-something bucks? And this is going to be $60, so that's per year. Everything that you have on power-up rewards, you've already got, so that shit's there, so just take that for granted. But here's what's going to change with that. I'm going to read all this shit off to you. 30 points for every dollar spent, so that's times 3 points. So if you've never actually seen their point system, it'll allow you to go and get coupon vouchers, so you can get like buy two get one free, or you can get X amount of dollars off some shit, or X amount of percentage off of some shit. And then they got random things that it's like you can enter into contests, you can go and buy shit, you already get the fucking point. 20% off pre-owned software and accessories. So that's going to be more than what they've already had, which was 10%. 20% extra trading credit on software accessories for first time. A buy two get one free pre-owned games welcome offer. A collectibles welcome offer. $50 in exclusive monthly offers. Free 2-day shipping, and all the other benefits pros currently enjoy. Okay, so right now, a lot of this shit, let me go and bring up some stuff. The 20% off pre-owned and 20% off extra trading credit. The extra trading credit sounds pretty nice, because if you go and take advantage of the fact that they have a lot of different times where they're going and doing some kind of promo, where like if you trade in this system, you go and you get this much more. Well, take advantage of that shit. That's when you go and trade stuff in, so you actually get the most bang for your buck. And yes, if you play it smart, you can actually get a decent amount of money out of GameStop trade-ins if you know what the fuck you're trading in and when you're trading it in. You just have to pay attention. Most motherfuckers will go in there and they'll trade in a bunch of fucking sports games, get $3 if they're fucking lucky, and then be like, why the fuck didn't I get anything? And I'm like, you traded in fucking sports games that are 7 years old. What the fuck did you think was going to happen? Didn't matter, it was a pile. Those were basically just fucking coasters inside of DVD cases. Didn't do much of shit, sorry. And it's on a last generation system. What the fuck were you expecting? But this shit, buy two get one free pre-owned games welcome offer, so you get it and you use it once. I think it's something that buy two get one free should just be there in general. If I'm paying $60 a year, why the fuck not? I mean, they are making most of their money off of pre-owned games, and this gives people more incentive to want to go out there and buy this shit up. Just saying. But the main reason that people like Gamers Club Unlocked and Amazon Prime is because they get 20% off new software. You are pushing for used software. That makes no fucking sense at all. You are passing the buck, huh? You are passing the buck on that portion of it. Look. Truth of the matter is, I'll tell you this, Amazon Prime used to be the shit, not so much anymore. Limited editions, collector's editions, Amazon Prime doesn't give a fuck about those, and they're not going to give you 20% off. Oh, you want 20% off a new game? Did you pre-order it? Well, guess the fuck what? They just changed some shit. If you did pre-own it, you don't get the 20% off. So let's just take those out of the equation, and that's what you're left with right there. You see that? There you go. Amazon Prime was the shit. Now, I've been relying heavily on Gamers Club Unlocked, which that's been a lot fucking better. I'm not even kidding you. I pre-ordered Yakuza Kiwami, and I was just like, yeah, getting this shit, right? So getting 20% off because I pre-ordered it, that's just fine. But then they said, oh, well, we're not going to send that shit to you until sometime Friday. The game is already fucking out. I'm like, why the fuck am I not getting it on the day of release? I have Amazon Prime, I pre-ordered it, yet I don't get the day of release. That seems asinine and fucking ridiculous, and I know that they get that shit ahead of time to be able to put that out into fucking circulation. So I ended up canceling my pre-order because it wasn't even prepared to ship yet, and I went to Best Buy, I had a $5 voucher, I paid $18.99 for a brand new Yakuza game, which I fucking live streamed last night. By the way, if you aren't watching my live streams, fucking do that. But still, that right there should fucking say something. I'm just like, this is ridiculous. Yet you're pushing for 20% off just pre-owned games. Nothing with new. You didn't even try to go in and be like, okay, 10% off that. I'd understand, it would at least be a step in the right direction, but you aren't even matching or even going in the direction that your competition is in, and that's why they're fucking beating you. I mean, you might got the pre-owned market locked the fuck down because Amazon themselves has to have pre-owned games through third-party resellers, and guess what? That has nothing to do with Amazon at all. And if you've ever seen the abysmal showcasing of used games at Best Buy, it's a fucking joke. They don't have shit there. Every time that I've went and looked, it's maybe, give or take, somewhere around 15 games total. I'm talking across the entire fucking gaming console spectrum. That's all that they have. I'm like, this is it? This is fucking it? And a lot of times they'll take the shit without the case, I'm just like, oh my fucking god, I don't get it. But this, you're like, free 2-day shipping. Well, you already get that with a pro membership, so I don't really see the big deal behind something like that. And you'd already said, well, you get things with Power Up Rewards membership. Yeah, no fucking dog, you get that. You see the fucking point? But here's where things get a little bit murky. They've already got this currently testing in certain markets. And the markets that they're testing in don't show up for 20%. They show up for 15%. Yet, the official paperwork for it is saying 20%. What the fuck is going on? If you actually try pushing this for, you know, $60 a year, which is a lot more than what the basic Power Up Rewards membership is going for, and you're only going to do this up by an additional 5%, you have lost the fucking plot. God damn, I mean, I had said numerous times that they should upgrade the Power Up Rewards membership to go and try to combat and compete with Gamers Club Unlocked and with Amazon Prime and shit. This is a step in that direction, and it's also a fucking step backwards, because it's like, you don't even know what the fuck you're doing. You deal with nothing but video games. Why the fuck are other people beating you on this shit? I know that you can go and buy just as many as them. We're not talking about a little mom and pop shop that is going to have trouble and fucking struggle comparatively. We're talking about fucking Gamestop. Pretty much the name in games when it comes to brick and mortar stores, yet you can't go and match this shit. Why the fuck is that? I really want to understand that. I truly, honestly want to understand that shit, because to me it doesn't make any fucking sense. If you are actually going to be going out there with the 15%, nobody's going to bother, because the amount of money that I have to fucking spend to upgrade the membership compared to how much I'm going to save over the entire duration of an entire year, unless I am buying fuck tons of games, I'm not going to end up breaking even on the additional investment from going there and buying this. Do you see that? I don't get it. Like, I really don't. I mean, all you had to do was say, yeah, if you go and get any kind of new games, 20% off. If you said collector's editions and limited editions, yeah, you'll go and get that shit. That means that Best Buy and GameStop would be offering something that Amazon wouldn't. You need to be able to compete to be able to stick around, and trust me when I say this, I'd much rather go to a fucking store and get something the day of release than fucking wait for it to arrive several days later in the mail. And if it shows up and it's fucked up, then I gotta go and mail it back. I'd much rather go to a store and be able to go and get that shit back, because it's just a short fucking drive for me. Look, I don't ever want to just be pissed off when I wake up about some things, but when I see this, I'm like 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. That's all I see out of this. There isn't enough incentive with anything like this to bother. What, you're giving an extra coupon? I mean, the only good thing about this is the extra additional 10% on the trade-in bonus. And that's assuming that it's actually going to be the 20% like you have in one thing of paperwork versus what you're actually doing with the fucking beta test off in certain regions. Makes no fucking sense. If it's only an extra 5%, nobody's going to end up seeing that much if a game only gets you a couple dollars. and that's all. And guess what? If it's going to be 20%, that will end up making some people want to bother with some shit, because if you run some kind of promotion, like an actual trade-in promotion, in addition, they're an Elite Pro member, so if this shit stacks on top of that, and it adds up a whole bunch, you will be able to continuously allow yourself to have a bunch of games on the shelf, and that's where you're making most of your cash at, right? Right. But you need to do new and used. You're an entire gaming store. You can't just be like, okay, only half of the store. No, you do not half-ass shit when it comes to stuff like this. It makes no fucking sense at all. And I know most folks will be like, GameStop doing something stupid. Yeah, no fucking duh. But it's like, they know that they have to go and do this kind of shit, they just don't do it correctly. I mean, you already have the fucking blueprint out there. Your competition's already done it. Match theirs and just go with it. I mean, shit, you're even publishing your own games now. By the way, I've bought several of them. I've been fucking excited about that shit because they're getting exclusive physical games only at GameStop. Like, that's kind of awesome. If you have an Elite Pro membership, if you're trying to go and buy games from this, knock an additional 5% off, just because. There's so many tiny little details right there that you could fucking do. I don't fucking understand it. I really don't. I mean, you could be working in tandem with, like, certain companies, like, fucking limited run games, and be like, okay, well, each store is going to have X amount of copies that you can buy physically in store from limited run. Wouldn't that be fucking cool? In limited run, there's a bunch of other companies out there that do the same exact shit, but they're always the first ones that come to mind because, well, I mean, I've gotten so much shit from them, but just saying, all these little fucking things that they could be doing. I mean, I've still never understood the fact that they don't have arcade machines at GameStops. You can go and fill up those fucking spaces with some of the most asinine and stupid bullshit. You even cell phone plans and stuff. I'm not going to GameStop to buy a fucking mobile phone at all. I don't need your fucking smartphones. I go there for video games and shit. I like the fact that you've got video game merchandise, but still, some arcade machines. Why don't you have actual official sanctioned tournaments? I mean, tons of companies out there would just throw money at you if you were going to officially do this shit at all of the high traffic stores. Trust me, oh my god, this shit would be so fucking easy. And be like, you don't have to pay membership if you're an Elite Pro member, you can just enter. And that's all. Additional incentive to allow people to want to go and bother with something like this. Give out some kind of cash prizes, free games, whatever the fuck it's going to be. Anything and everything like that. But most of all, if anything that you take away from this, why the fuck isn't it just 20% off of new games? That's what the fuck you're trying to go and compete with, yet that was the one thing that you missed the mark on. And by the way, start carrying fucking retro games into actual GameStops. I know there's only a couple few that do that kind of shit, but I'm talking in all of them. You really should. I mean, you're surviving off of fucking used games, yet you're going to take in games but not sell them in the fucking store. It just makes no fucking sense to me whatsoever. Anyway, rant over. I needed to go and talk about that shit, about the fact that it's like, well, it's 15% here, but it's 20% here. It's like, what the fuck are you actually doing? Oh, we decided to do it, but we're not actually matching the competition, which is the reason why we decided this in the fucking first place. Dumb, 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 dumb. That's all. That's all I had to fucking say. What else is there to fucking add? I don't know. $50 in exclusive monthly offers. We don't know what they're going to be, so I can't really get fucking excited about anything like that. A collectibles welcome offer. We don't know what that's going to be. And maybe you should team up with some of the people that do, like, some of those boxes, like the Nerd Box and Geek Box and Gamers Box and all the other fucking boxes out there, most of which, if you ever watched the YouTube videos of them, they'll be like, alright, I'm unboxing this! Oh, well, this is cool, and meanwhile they won't know what the fuck it is, and they just feign excitement and shit, and they're like, oh wow, this is a thing! But I'm just like, if only they were honest. Anyhow, there's a bunch of ideas and shit. Have at it, and for everybody else out there who's just like, you know what, I don't even give a fuck about GameStop, they can suck a big old barrel of fucking dicks, that's fine. If you all have ideas, comments down below. If you just want to tell them to go fuck themselves, comments down below. If you're in support of all this shit and you think that I'm just dragging it through the muck and mire like some kind of fucking belligerent asshole, by all means, disagree! Down in the comment section, I don't give a fuck at all. It's why it's there. It's so that everybody can communicate all their thoughts and ideas and stuff. Anyway, this is AlphaOmegaSin, as always, nerds, nerdettes, and gamers game the fuck on!